Late one evening, in a cozy living room, the television flickered to life with bright colors and dramatic sound effects. As soon as the screen lit up, the cats of the house gathered like curious little viewers ready for their own movie night. Whiskers, the oldest, sat majestically on the armrest, narrowing his eyes as if he were a strict critic analyzing every scene. Luna, the playful kitten, pounced at the moving characters, convinced that one wrong jump could catch them. Her little paws kept tapping the screen, leaving smudges as she tried to save the day. Meanwhile, Shadow crouched low on the rug, his tail twitching each time a bird appeared on screen. His hunting instincts kicked in, and he launched himself forward, only to crash into the TV stand with a thud. The humans burst out laughing, while Shadow strutted away, pretending it was all part of his plan. Mittens, always the most dramatic of the group, tilted her head and let out a long, loud meow whenever an animal noise came from the speakers. It was as if she was trying to have a conversation with the characters on the show. By the time the credits rolled, the cats had put on a show of their own jumping, pawing, meowing, and staring wide-eyed at the glowing screen. For the humans, it wasn't the TV program that was the highlight of the night, but the hilarious reactions of their furry companions. The next night, the family decided to turn on the TV again, partly to watch their favorite show, but mostly to see what kind of antics the cats would create this time. As the opening music played, Luna sprinted from the hallway and skidded across the floor, stopping right in front of the screen. The moment a fish appeared swimming across the ocean in a documentary. She leaped straight up, batting her paws in the air like a tiny boxer. She landed with a wobble, then immediately tried again, convinced she could catch dinner if she was just fast enough. Shadow, ever the serious hunter, crouched behind the coffee table, his eyes locked on the TV like a lion stalking prey. Every time a squirrel darted across the screen, his body wiggled and then pounced. Of course, he only ended up slamming into the table leg while the squirrel zipped away unharmed. The humans laughed so hard, Shadow had to sit down and lick his paw, pretending he meant to do that. Whiskers, on the other hand, preferred a more refined approach. He sat on the armchair, tail wrapped neatly around his paws, watching the scenes with a slow blink. Whenever Luna and Shadow made fools of themselves, Whiskers gave them a disdainful look, as if saying, "Amateurs. I've seen far better acting on Animal Planet." Then came Mittens' moment. A commercial for pet food played, complete with a loud, enthusiastic dog barking. Mittens' ears shot up, and she immediately puffed up twice her size. She marched right up to the TV, hissed, and then smacked the screen with her paw, determined to put that rude dog in its place. When the dog vanished in the next scene, Mittens strutted back proudly, convinced she had saved everyone. By the end of the night, the family barely remembered what they had tried to watch. Instead, their living room turned into a live comedy show, starring 4 cats who thought the television was built just for them. The idea of Cats TV Night became such a routine that the family started picking shows just to see how the cats would react. It quickly turned into a nightly event, where the humans got popcorn and the cats became the real entertainment. One evening, they flipped on a cooking show. The sizzling sound of meat on a pan had all 4 cats frozen in place. Luna crept closer to the screen, eyes wide, licking her tiny lips. She even pawed at the glass, as if she could scoop out a piece of steak. Shadow sat beside her, ears perked, twitching every time the chef chopped vegetables. When the chicken came out of the oven, Shadow launched forward with such determination that he nearly knocked the remote off the couch. Whiskers, true to his dignified nature, gave a judgmental yawn, clearly thought cooking shows were beneath him. But when the chef sprinkled catnip garnish over a dish for fun, Whiskers suddenly perked up, staring at the screen with laser focus. Ah! The humans burst into laughter finally. Whiskers had been caught off guard. Mittens, meanwhile, wasn't interested in the food at all. Her eyes were glued to the whisk in the chef's hand. Every time it spun around in the mixing bowl, she meowed loudly, convinced it was some kind of toy she deserved to play with. She eventually leaped at the screen, only to land in a pile of throw pillows, glaring at her humans for laughing. The next night was even funnier, a horror movie. The eerie music made all 4 cats' tails puff up like bottle brushes. When the villain suddenly jumped out, Luna leapt straight into the air while Mittens ran behind the curtain. Shadow growled at the screen, thinking he was defending the family from danger. Whiskers didn't flinch, he just stared coldly as if daring the ghost to try him. The family realized they no longer needed sitcoms or comedies. Watching their cats react to TV was the best show in the world. The screen filled with scenes of birds soaring through the sky. Luna immediately lost her mind. Her tail twitched like a metronome as she launched herself again and again at the screen, convinced she could catch one. Shadow crouched low and gave out little hunter's chirps, every muscle trembling as though he was ready to stalk prey in the living room. Whiskers, unimpressed, just flicked his ear. But when a slow-motion mouse scurried across the grass on screen, his eyes widened. He leaned forward so far that he almost slid off the armrest. The humans gasped. It was the first time Whiskers had broken his calm critic persona. Mittens, however, completely misunderstood. When the lions roared, she puffed up like a pom-pom and hissed, staring down the TV, as if she could take on a pride of lions all by herself. Episode 4. The Cartoon Marathon. Bright colors danced across the screen as a cartoon cat chased a cartoon mouse. The irony wasn't lost on the humans. Luna tilted her head, confused, while Shadow pawed furiously at the animated mouse, determined to help the cartoon cat succeed. Mittens, however, got offended. Every time the cartoon dog appeared, she yowled at the TV, pacing back and forth. Whiskers just sighed and groomed himself, as if the whole thing was too childish for his taste. Still, when the cartoon cat ended up losing to the mouse yet again, Whiskers let out a tiny, low growl, perhaps a critique of poor feline representation. Episode 5. The Dance Competition. This time, the TV blared upbeat music as dancers twirled across the stage. Luna went wild. She chased the dancers' feet on the screen, darting left and right in rhythm with the beat. Shadow sat beside her, mesmerized by the flashing lights, his head bobbing like he was keeping time with the music. Whiskers simply closed his eyes and swayed his tail, as though conducting the performance himself. Mittens, however, decided she should join the competition. She jumped up on the coffee table and began swatting the air dramatically in time with the music, stealing the spotlight completely. By the end, the humans were doubled over in laughter, chanting, "Mittens wins, Mittens wins," much to her smug satisfaction. The family quickly realized they didn't need Netflix, cable, or even comedy specials. Their living room had become the funniest channel in existence. Cat TV reactions live.